Hi everyone, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be sharing with you this sparkly card that I made for the April 2026 Creative Challenge entitled Faerie Glen. All the samples I've done for this challenge have actually been based on a circle because I felt like it was kind of encapsulating that Glen feel, as it were, as if we were going into somewhere special. So let's get started. I have my acetate circle mask. Now this is slightly bigger than the 12 by 12, so I'm just eyeballing this really to have it in the middle, and then I've got some masking tape, some paper tape, just to keep it where I want it. I'll pop that there for you. I'm using my really big chunky stencil brush because it's quite quick to add the colour that way, kind of almost being lazy. I tend to use this size mainly, but I do have just one in this size and I really love it. So I started with green parrot and just added a load of colour. And I know I've said this before, but the beauty of splashing water onto the ink is that you don't have to worry about any of these brush marks. So that's our light green. Then just added a bit of pixie green. It's adding depth to it, I guess, and adding a bit more realism, as realistic as you can get a Faerie Glen. That you would have a number of different greens if you were looking at a hidden place in the greenery somewhere. And then finally I've got pixie green. Ooh, just getting a bit harder to open. Put my finger in the ink. Let's just add some of the darker green, maybe a bit around the edges, just wherever you want really. There we go. I'm going to pop that to one side because I'm going to get my water spray and I don't want to spritz it. So quite a bit of water really on this one, more than I would normally do, I think. And it's a bit like magic, isn't it? Look, you can see it appearing before your eyes, that ink, as it's a water-based ink, responding immediately to the water, just doing its thing. So there we go. I did take it off slightly like this and give it a bit of a blast with my heat gun as well, and pretty much go back. I mean, you can line it up, it's just a circle, but there we go. Now we have had questions in the Facebook group about getting inks to respond like this, and I think it's just important to know what kind of card you're using or what kind of paper. So this is multifarious card. It's got a coating to it, so the ink almost, I think, sits on the top. It can't cope with lots and lots of water, but it can cope with enough to do this kind of technique. Watercolour card is designed to absorb the water, so you get a different effect if you're using watercolour card. So worth having a play. If you've never done it before, have a go on some snippets of paper. Don't immediately think you're going to put a whole card together. Have a play first. I always say that. Have a little practice at these things. Teach yourself how to use them. Right, next I added some splashes of, well, it looks like gold. It's actually from the mist spray Chestnut Bay. Tracy used this in a video the other day and I thought, do you know what, it's ages since I've used my sprays and this is my favourite colour. So I didn't use it as a spray as such. I'll show you how I did it. Before that, I'm just going to add a little bit of text stamping. I've got Portobello. I thought I'd have a change. I normally go for a green when I'm doing something like this, but I thought I'd have a change. And I'm just going to stamp patches of it on my card. It's just about adding a bit of texture. Now these sprays are the sparkle, like many sprays like this, are made up of its ground mica. So I was going to say, sometimes you have to make sure that you wash your nozzle, but actually I'm not using my nozzle on this one because I wanted a different effect. I wanted to tap it like I do with the gold ink, because it comes out in a different way. It comes out, if I'd sprayed it, would have been a bit of a more even colouring. When I splat it like this, and I just used a damp brush, I get these bigger blobs and some little tiny blobs. So I get a bit of variety. That's what I was after with this one. If it bothers you dipping your brush in, I'd just tip some out into a little container. You'll be fine. There we go. I think that's enough. You can tell I like this one. This is the second bottle. I've got about that much left. I think I need to stock up next time I'm in the Dreamatorium. Right. So I'm going to take off my mask. Now I've not done too badly on this one, but the origin a few years ago now of adding dots around a circle actually came about because I'd smudged it. I mean, there's a tiny smudge there, but you'll never know. So yeah, that was how it came about. But I really like the effect, so I continue. I've splashed water there, so I'm just going to heat set that. And if that does happen, just come in, put a bit more green back on top if you don't want it quite that white. This bit I really like. It looks like it's a bit of a lighter area, but that one looks a bit more like a blob. So just put a bit of green over it and you'll think it was always meant to be there. There we go. Right, I'm using Aurora. I've not used her for ages, and I thought, well, she would be sitting in a Faerie Glen somewhere picking, well, I think, I've always thought she was maybe collecting something from these flowers, but actually, sorry, I'm just going to split my paper. Actually, I think she's sprinkling fairy dust in them. I have decided. That's what's happening in my head. So I'm inking this up with Nocturne, Versify Nocturne. Ink everywhere today. Not that that's unusual for me, but feels like it's more so today. And what I'm doing with this image is I'm going beyond the circle. So I'm just positioning the branch so it looks like she is, as if it's coming out of the base of the card, I guess. And then just pressing it down, giving that ink a bit of time just to sink into the card. There we go. And there she is. And then really it's just a case of adding some colour and finishing it off with the glittery bits. So colour wise I've been using my Mondelez pencils, and I went for pinkish type rosebuds. I'm going with, they remind me of rose hips, these, so I thought I'd go pink. So I coloured it mainly in, as I say, in the pink, but you can choose which colours you want to use. And then I added, kind of coloured around the base a bit really, to add a bit of shape with the burgundy. There we go. And if you want to, you can use a wet brush just to pull that together. I think it makes the colour look a bit deeper, but it could be just my imagination. And then with her wings, I decided on a pale blue. When I looked at these, I don't know that I particularly noticed before, I reckon she's got two sets of wings. So she's got these rounder ones that I went for a pale blue. And then I used this slightly darker blue, it's probably a sky blue, isn't it? To just come from her body and just that first part of those wings. And then I used a purple for the wings behind. Purple's not a colour I use very often, but I have been practising using it over the past couple of years, and it's starting to become a colour that I do reach for. I love seeing how the different colours people use for wings. And then I did use that purple just to give it an even greater depth at the beginning of those wings. They just layer so beautifully, these pencils, don't they? And then we're going to finish it off with some stickles. Now, in the past I have used the gold dropper shimmer mainly for thing going around here, or Posca pen. But the other day I thought, ooh, how about using some stickles? That'll add a bit more sparkle. So I'm kind of almost zigzagging around the circle, so not always like meticulously around. I'm kind of wavering, and then I add a little extra dot every now and again around the edge. I just think it adds a bit of, again, I suppose it's texture really, isn't it? And if you've not quite got it, if you're trying to do it really evenly all the way around and one bit's not even, then your eye is drawn to it. Whereas if it's all a bit random, there isn't anything, your brain just says, oh, it's a bit random. I'm missing out where her wings are, as if they're over the top of this. So I'm avoiding any of that stamping. There we go. So I was using mercury glass for that one, but there's all sorts of gorgeous stickle colours, so use what you have. And to finish it off, I'm just going to use the sentiment stickers. And should we have today is a new day? I'm just going to pop this down here. In line with the base of the card. So there we go, quite a quick card really to pull together. And then I'll just mount that onto some white folded card. Oh no, I've forgotten something. It's just looking at the sparkle on that one, as I showed you. Wink of Stella. I just added a smidge now. I want my paper back because I don't trust this, or I don't trust myself with it. I'm just using a bit of Wink of Stella, and I just used it on the blue of her wings and the very tips of this one, but again, you do what you would like. There we go. I don't think I've forgotten anything else. There we are. So just make sure that you don't put that near the cat, if you've got one like me, or anybody that might put something on top of it. Put it somewhere safe while it dries so that those stickles don't smudge and they can get nice and hard. And then once it's dry, you've got your lovely card. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you make one, because I do love to see what you've made, and I also love it when people do different colour wings. So looking forward to seeing what you produce. Take care.